All right, today we're going to talk about how to create filters in a spreadsheet. In this case, we're using Google Sheets. And so I have this big spreadsheet, which was actually a form, the responses to a form that had, and if you look at this, you can see there's quite a number of questions that we originally had in this form. And I was asking students what type of phone, what age they are, and so forth, make and model, what mobile provider they had. And it goes back a number of years, but notice how much data there is, a lot of data here. And so we had asked respondents these questions. Now, notice I've gotten row one actually we I had it so that it'll show it'll wrap the text. So that's one thing you might do if it's not already done. And also, I've set I've gone to view and I've frozen the first row up to row one and column A. So that what that does is that means that if I scroll up and down, notice row one does not move. And if I scroll left or right, well, in this case, I didn't freeze A, but it's frozen up to A. So anyway, you've got your basic spreadsheet here. And so what we want to do is maybe filter this so that I don't have to view all of this data. So what I want to do in this case, is I'm going to go to data and I'm going to go create a filter. Now I've already created, I'm sorry, not create a filter, but a filter view, and I want to create a new filter view. Notice I've already got one that I actually played around with, Samsung 50 to $100 bills. I mean, the customers got is paying $50 to $100 for their monthly bill. So I'm gonna reproduce this a little bit differently this time. I'm going to create a new filter view, and I can name it up here. But first of all, I'm going to go ahead and name this. What I want to do is find Samsung users, people who have Samsung phones, um, whose bill between let's say 50 and $100. And I'm going to sort by, just to go ahead and put it in the title, I'm going to sort by um, mobile phone provider um, rating. So I'm just going to go ahead and name that, and I'll show you why in just a second. So I've got all this done. I've got the filter here set up. I can select everything here if I want to. But what I want to do is I want to come in here. Notice these columns now have these little um, arrows beside them. So what I can do is I can use the arrows to make a filter to filter out certain things. So in this case, I want to filter out certain phones. I've got a column right here called "What type of phone do you have?" And so I'm going to go down here and notice all of these are different phones. They're all checked right now because they're all being displayed. And if I wanted to, I could just type Samsung, or I could find Samsung down here and uncheck everybody else. I could clear all of them and just check that one. But I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to filter by condition. I'm going to click that. And I want to, the condition is the text contains, okay? So I'm going to say that it contains the word Samsung. Got to spell that right. And notice the data needs to be correct too. Anything that's not in your data that it doesn't match that if a user misspelled it. In this case, I think I had a drop down list so it wouldn't be misspelled. Okay. And so it's Samsung, and I'm just going to go okay. And so notice now when I scroll up and down, I've only got Samsung phones. There are a lot of them, but I've only got Samsung phones. Okay. So um, also notice that okay, so now I also would like I want to get only those Samsung phones that are between 50 and $100 on their bill. So we go to their bill here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to filter by condition. In this case, I'm going to say it's between two numbers. There's lots of different things. I could say greater than 50 or less than 100 or whatever. But I'm going to do is between. And then I've got two boxes here. I'm going to put 50 and 100. And then I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to click OK. So now, if you notice what I've got, all of the monthly cell phone bills are between 50 and 100, right? And they're only Samsung phones. Notice that they're only Samsung phones. Now I can do one last thing if I want to. I mean, I can filter many things out if I want to. But what I want to do here is I'm also going to go ahead and sort by the how they're rated, how they rate their mobile provider. So in this case, you see this column. I'm going to sort by this. So I'm going to go in here and I can sort from A to Z, or which is low to high, or from high to low, Z to A. So I'm going to do from low to high. And so notice now, if I scroll through this, they'll be in order by how they've rated their mobile provider. So this person right here rated the mobile provider a 10. He spends $100 on his cell phone. So you can kind of get an idea of what data is out there. You can better interpret your data.